Hey everyone and welcome. Thanks for taking the time to watch this overview of Click Maint. Whether you're currently evaluating CMMS software, testing out the Click Maint trial, or you've already looked into Click Maint and want to share this with other stakeholders involved in the decision-making process, this video is designed to give you a clear, practical overview of who we are and how we can help. Throughout this video, I'll walk you through a brief introduction to Click Maint, show you a live demo of the platform and its key features, and then wrap things up with an overview of pricing, onboarding, and how to connect with our team if you'd like to learn more. So here's what we're going to cover today. First, I'll start off with a quick introduction to Click Maint and what sets us apart. And then we'll jump into the product demo, where I'll show you the core features and modules that our customers use on a daily basis. And then finally, we'll wrap things up with a discussion on pricing, onboarding options, and next steps if you'd like to schedule a live demo or get some more additional information. So why Click Maint? At Click Maint, we're focusing on four core things that consistently matter most to maintenance and facilities teams: ease of use, speed to value, affordable pricing, and excellent customer support. This is really how we differentiate ourselves. Our software is designed to be intuitive and easy to adopt so teams can get up and running quickly. That's our goal. We want to avoid very long implementations that are painful and take up a lot of your resources. Speed to value is key for us. Our customers often see value right away. We're looking at the first month. We're also proud to be recognized by independent software review platforms like G2, Capterra, Software Advice, Finances Online, and others. These recognitions are based on real customer feedback and consistently highlight Click Maint for its ease of use, fast setup, customer support, fast ROI, and overall user experience. Click Maint's trusted by thousands of users across a wide range of industries. Our customers include organizations in hospitality, manufacturing, food and beverage processing, higher education, religious institutions and nonprofits, senior care facilities, municipalities, and many others. While these industries are very diverse, the common theme is the need for a simple, affordable, and reliable way to manage maintenance operations. And Click Maint helps teams easily manage work orders, assets, preventative maintenance, inspections, service requests, and more all in one place. So with that in mind, let's get into the demo. All right, so I'm logged into the Click Maint web app. So this is from your desktop. And by default, you're going to be brought to an enterprise screen. So what this screen does is it gives you a summary of what's going on in your facilities. Now, if you have one facility, that's fine. You just get a summary of what is happening in the one facility and highlight any active work orders or requests or anything that you need to pay attention to. But if you have multiple locations, you'll see a summary of all those locations from this screen, provided that you have permissions to view them. So it's not meant to be a report. This is just really to give you a high-level overview. And you'll also notice that if there's a critical work order or anything that's overdue, it highlights that facility and highlights it to red, so it draws your attention to it. There's also a detailed view. So if you click on detailed, it's going to expand this, and it's going to give you some more metrics, like how many work orders were completed, what's the total cost of those work orders, and what percentage were completed on time. If you're tracking downtime, it'll let you know which assets are offline. And it also tells you how many of those assets or total assets have preventative maintenance schedules associated with them. So it's kind of like a high level view. It's not meant to be a report. It's just to give you a sense of, one click and at a glance, what is going on in those facilities. And then you can change this period of time which you're reporting on. So, if we wanted to look at last year or last month or this month, you just change the date and then it will update that data. So we're just going to go into the Acme plant and start off with looking at the work orders. So this is our work order screen. So this is basically all the active work orders we have in this facility. And you'll notice at the top there's some KPIs. You can collapse that or you can expand it. But basically high level, it's giving you a view of everything that's going on in this facility. Highlights any overdue work orders, any unassigned, and then it breaks down the backlog by status and priority. And then you can also see what percentage of work orders are reactive or preventive. These are interactive, so it's pretty cool. Basically, you can click on that and it'll give you all the overdue work orders. And then maybe you want to look at all the unassigned overdue work orders. So we click on that, and basically we have a list there, and it's all filtered. So these are all unassigned. So a good thing to do here probably would be to assign them. They're overdue. Let's get them assigned. So we can assign them to one person or multiple people. So I'm going to give them to these two people. There we go, and hit save. Now, these folks will get notified on their mobile app that the work orders have been assigned to them. They'll also get email notifications as well. So I'm just going to reset the filters to default. Before we start tackling these work orders, just want to cover a couple of items here as well. One, you can configure this screen and customize it to the way you like it. So basically, if you want to hide certain fields or columns, you can if they're not relevant to you, or you can relocate them by clicking and dragging and moving them around. Very, very easy to do. So easy to customize these screens. And that goes for all the screens in ClickMate. We've done that deliberately. So you'll see throughout this demo that a lot of the screens look very similar. List view with filters. And then also you have the gear icon here where you can customize the screen. You can export the data to Excel or a PDF if you want. And then you got an action button here as well. So this is how you create the work order. Everything's located in the same spot just to make it the learning curve really, really easy and making the software very intuitive. Okay, so I'm going to pull up some of these work orders and we'll start getting to work on them. But before I do, I'm going to also show you this calendar view. So the calendar view allows you to view all these work orders based on their due date. So we're looking at a monthly view. Same filters apply. So if you wanted to filter them down, you can. See all the overdue ones. Doesn't look like we have any anymore. If you wanted to filter them by priority, you could. So apply any of these filters or a combination of more granular filters as well. So all doable here from this screen. But basically, this is your calendar view. And if you're an admin user, you can click and drag and reschedule work. So the calendar view is a nice tool to use. But let's get into some of these work orders. So I'm going to show you, bring up the mobile app here, and we'll just resize that. So let's just take a look at one of our reactive work orders here. So I'm going to change the type to reactive. And oops, sorry, there we go. Reactive work order. So we got here an air conditioner that needs to be repaired. So I'm going to pull that up on my phone as well. So one way to do the work order would be to use your mobile phone. So very, very easy to do. I'm just going to pop the work order open. I'm going to change the status to in progress. And I'm going to start my timer. And what that's going to do is it's automatically timing how long it's taking me to do this. And it's great because one, you get an idea of accurate timing on how long it took to complete it and how much time the technician spent working on it. The other is it also on the back end will calculate the labor costs. So if you associate a labor rate with them, it's automatically doing that for you. So it's not necessary, but it's a good thing to do if you are interested in tracking costs. One of the other things is on this mobile app here, you can see where the work order is located, when the due date is, all those details. If it was a request, you can see the requester, but you can also access the asset information straight from your phone as well. So click on the asset. If you want to look at the manual and the document, everything's accessible from your phone within seconds. So we know where that asset's located and grab all that asset information, even history. Everything's, a quick click. But yeah, if we want to complete this, basically, I got my timer going and I would get to work on it. And one of the things that's nice about the mobile is you can add images and take pictures. So if you're on the go, you might want to add in a comment here and say, I fixed the air conditioner and it looks good, period. Take a look at the picture. So it's really easy to add images or multiple images, and those get documented on the work order. Okay. And I'm just going to hit completed. And all of that's been done. So that will refresh this screen right here. If I pop that open, you're going to see that work order is now set to completed. And then you'll see the time that Peter here put on the work order, a very small amount of time. and his comments with the picture. And then you'll also see the whole audit trail here as well. So that's everything that changes on this work order will show up in this history here, and it's an audit trail for you. So a big reason why a lot of our customers use our software is to manage maintenance requests as well. So we do have the request module here, and just know that you have unlimited requesters, and so that they're at no charge. Every subscription gets unlimited requesters. And requesters could be requester users, which would log into the system and submit requests by clicking on this button, and they wouldn't see anything else. Or we also have a request portal. So you can create a portal that doesn't require them to log in. They just go to a website and then they'll see a form and they just fill out the form, or they can scan a QR code and it'll take them right to that form and fill it out there as well. So I'm not going to demo that, but if you do want to learn more about that, we're happy to set up a demonstration. But I'll show you how we get maintenance requests in right now from just logging into the app. So we're going to start off with something really, really easy. So I'm going to put in here, light is out. Okay. Oops. Okay. I want to get updates on the status changes. So I enable that. And then I'm going to choose my location. So it's in the washroom. So staff washroom. And then I can put in here a category. So, lighting is one of our categories, I believe. There it is. Just know that too, these forms are totally customizable. So if you don't want assets on there, you can remove that. If you don't want category on there, you can have that removed. If you don't want priority on here, you don't have to have that. Or you can add additional fields. So some customers would like this really, really simple and 2 fields. Some want a little more detail. So just know that. I'm going to hit submit there. Now I'm going to kind of tie this in with the mobile app. So that request is right here. I'm just going to go onto my mobile phone, and you're going to see that I was just notified that I have a pending request, that there's a light out. So I can pop that open, and straight from my phone, I can go ahead and improve it. So you don't need to be sitting at your desk. And this is where you could update this. So before it becomes a work order, you can make some changes to this if you wanted to. So maybe I'm going to change the priority, and I'm going to assign it to Peter. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a due date. So any changes you want to do, if you want to change the wording, add some notes, that's all doable once you're creating the work order. So whoever's approving it can do that. So that work order has now been created. I'm going to slide this out of the way. And just to show you, let's refresh, and we'll see it on the next screen, work orders. And then Peter would have gotten notified on his phone as well. Whoop, there we go. So it's right there at the top of my list. And if I pull up my mobile phone in 2 seconds, you will see it on my phone right at the top of my list. So that's all in real time. Notifications are going out. If I want to complete it, I would just pop this open, same as before, put it in progress, start my timer, and go to work. I can see where it's located, who requested it, when it was requested, the location, everything's right there. And then if I wanted to go ahead and maybe add comments and a picture, that's all doable. I changed the light bulb. Take a look at the picture. Everything looks good. So it's meant to be really, really easy. And this avoids having to print off, go back to your computer. So using mobile, if implemented, can really help to save a lot of time. I can also see that this is in progress. I forgot to put the completed. Let's do that. And now that work order is done. So that kind of walked you through really quickly how to get a request in, assign it, and then either complete it on your desktop or using the mobile app. So next up is preventative maintenance. So preventative maintenance, it's basically the same as a reactive work order. So I'm going to change this to preventive just to show you all of our active PMs we have here. So basically, we're just creating a work order and setting a schedule, and then it just kind of goes on autopilot. So the PMs you complete them exactly the same way as you would a reactive work order. It's just you're not submitting one. So you just basically put in the details of the work order, add some procedures, which I'll show you, and then set the schedule, and it's just going to trigger automatically. You can also use the PM view here, and this just lets you see all the different PMs you have set in the system. So these are the templates, and then you can see how they're progressing. So this gives you an idea of when they're coming due. So they're automatically going to trigger, but you can actually see that maybe you want to trigger this one early because it's almost there. So you have like a inspect gym equipment, and it's for a multi-purpose gym. But you'll see that on this list view here. You can pause them as well for shutdowns. So just wanted to show you this screen here. If I want to trigger this one early, I would just click on it. And if you're an admin, you can activate it early. You just put activate now. And yeah, because it's pretty much what needs to be done anyway. So if someone has some spare time on their hands, we can activate that PM now, and you'll see it's live. And this is the PM. It looks exactly like the other work orders. One of the things that you can have on the PMs is procedures. So that's like step-by-step inspections, different steps, and we have like multiple choice questions, which I'll walk you through right now. So I'm going to leave that one there. But let's go back to our work order list. They're all going to show up on this list, and then we can complete those PMs. So let's pick out, let's do this one here. Okay, so we have an overdue PM here. You can see it's bright red for air handler unit number 1. It's assigned to David and Jean, so whoever wants to do it. If you click on the link, you're going to see the asset information straight from the work order, where it's located, manufacturer information, basically all the information that you put in, parts that are used to maintain it. And then you can see at the bottom here, like the history. So if I want to change that period of time, you can, but all the historical records are right there. Yeah, let's just go and try and complete this from our desktop. So I'm going to put this in progress, and then we'll go through those procedure steps. So these ones have, some procedures. These are just a checklist. So we just check them all off. Now you can put comments and upload images here. So if you want to put a comment here and upload an image, you can. But that's all we have to do. And it just ensures that all the proper procedures are being followed. And then we can add our time on here. So if it took me 45 minutes, put that. And, if you had a vendor come in, some of you might have vendors that come in and do this. You can add the vendor expense here, or if you wanted to use a part, I'm just going to find a fan motor or something like that. We just use that part and it'll take it out of your inventory. But basically, this is done. It's just like a regular work order. It just triggers automatically. Okay? And then you have the full audit trail as well. Every step of that PM that was done is being tracked right here and documented on the audit trail of the work order. Let's pull one up on the mobile. So if you look at my mobile here, I've got a boiler. This one's overdue. It's red. You can see that. So it's a boiler monthly PM and inspection. So I'm going to open that up. I'm going to turn it to in progress, hit the timer, and we're going to start getting to work on it just like we did before. Now, what's cool is right from here, you can see all the asset information. So if I click on that, you got images of the asset, manuals and documents, easy to refer to just from clicking, where it's located. Any parts that we need to use are located here. So all very easy to access from your phone. But yeah, to complete this, we just go to this procedures, and there's a lot here. There's actually quite a few procedures here. So I'm going to go through this pretty quickly, check them. So this one says it's got like an inspection. So pass, fail, or flag, pass. Okay, I'm going to check this one. These are all the steps that we need to do. Let's pass it. Multiple choice questions. And for every one of these, you can add images. This one's asking for like a reading. So I'm going to put in the value. There's quite a few tasks there on this one. And for any of these, you could go here and add comments and add a picture if you wanted to. And this is asking us to take a picture when completed. So we can. So that's one of the requirements. So I'll just take that ugly picture again. Hit save. And then we also have on this one an e-signature. So you can, for audit purposes, we can also have this where you just have to sign off on it. So totally like flexible in terms of what you need to add to these things, but very, very easy to do. So looking at the procedures, we'll go back here. We're done. And you can see what was all done. So it'll show you a whole list of everything that you did, including the image and the signature. That looks good. And yeah, we'll just hit completed. And then what will happen with the PMs is they're automatically going to trigger according to the schedule that you set. So like a reactive work order needs to be submitted or a request needs to come in, the PMs are just on autopilot. So the next PM is going to come up next month and it's going to be assigned to the appropriate person, or it can be reassigned, and they just run on autopilot. So that's your preventative maintenance. Procedures are here. This is where you can customize those forms and make procedures checklists and add those templates to all the work orders. I want to show you the assets. So in ClickMate, you can have a complete asset registry of all the important equipment that's in your facilities, whether it's production machinery or mechanical, electrical, plumbing equipment, furniture. It's all here. If you're starting from scratch, it's super easy to add assets. You click the button, fill out the form. You can choose what fields are important to you. We have an import wizard as well, where you can upload a spreadsheet of assets that you have, an existing list. Or if you're coming from another CMMS software, we can help you to migrate the data over. So easy to do, and all the assets will be right here. Again, these screens look very similar to everything else. You can customize them here, filter, but just let's take a look at one of these assets. So I've got an air handler unit here. And one of the things you're going to notice is you can add a lot of documents here and associate parts, create an asset hierarchy. At the bottom here, you're going to see the history of the asset as well. So you can filter through this. This isn't a report. It's just to give you a quick overview. But you can see everything that was done this year and view those records. But one of the cool things that I wanted to show is this QR code. So ClickMate will allow you to create QR codes and generate them for all of your assets. And this is really helpful if you're using the mobile app, because if you put QR codes on the asset, it automatically pulls the asset information up. So you can view the asset details, everything that's related to the asset, just simply by scanning it. And then you can also create requests and work orders straight from here. So rather than going on your desktop and trying to find the asset, simply scan it while you're actually at the asset, and then you can create the work order. Boiler is not working. This is actually an air handler. I like using voice to text from my mobile. Okay, and you just fill out the form right from here. So easy to do. Assign Chris, and then just give it a due date. Hit save. So it's really, really nice to use the QR codes. You scan it and it'll pull up all the asset information, but you could also create maintenance requests and work orders straight from by scanning it. Super easy. If we go back to our work orders, you're going to see that even though it's an air handler unit, you're going to see that boiler work order is right there. There we go. Get rid of the filters. And it's right at the top of the list. That's the work order I just created. Okay. The same goes with locations as well. Locations can have QR codes. So location. So I just jumped to one of my other entities or facilities here, a hotel, just because I wanted to show you the QR codes for locations. So all locations and spaces can get QR codes as well. You'll see here. And that way you can append them to the walls and outside the location entrance, and users can scan it and then pull up the information just like we did before. So this is just the hierarchy of the locations. Same type of detail. You can see the history here. But if I go ahead and scan my phone, you're going to see that it pulls up the location name. So I'll scan it. And there we go. So this is the gym area. Again, if I want to see the details, I can see everything on the gym area, history. But let's just go ahead and scan it again, and then we'll put a request in. There's a big spill on the floor in the gym area that needs to be cleaned up. And I just fill out this request. So it's already associated with that gym area. That's what the scanning makes really easy. And of course I can upload an image, and then we can give it a category as well if we wanted to. But that's how you can get a maintenance request in really, really easily using the QR codes. Another really nice feature about Click Maint that comes with Click Maint is our interactive floor plans. So even if you're a manufacturing plant or a hotel, museum, healthcare facility, this is a very helpful tool for large facilities. So it's all you have to do is upload images, and it allows you to view the floor plan or the map, and then you can see where all of your assets and work orders are within the building. So really, really nice feature here. This is just an example of a roof. So if I want to look at the assets, if you have a lot on there, you could filter by asset type, but I'm just going to quickly click on one of these guys. This is a cooling tower, and it'll bring up all the asset information. So everything that's related to this asset, we can access straight from the roof. Here's another one. And then if you wanted to see like work orders, it's showing me there's 2 work orders right here. Click on it, they'll bring up the work order. It's a really nice feature to help locate work orders. Here's another view just to give you an idea. Similar. So this again is another image. We can make more space here. If I want to see the work orders, I can see exactly where they're located. If there's any requests, we would see those there. Assets. So same thing. We got these air handlers. It's showing me all the open work orders and some history. But you also see the details of the asset as well right here. So really, really nice feature. I'll find one that looks a little bit more specific, like a real floor plan. This is a hotel, and we have like a pool area here, and we can see some of the fitness equipment. But again, you can see the assets. I only have a few plotted here, work orders, and then maybe a request. So we can actually see the request. That's our request here that I just submitted earlier. Clean the spill. But if we wanted to look at some of the assets here too, this is a stationary bike. We have an open work order there, and then all the information is right there. So easy to use and locate different assets. Something that would, a lot of facilities find useful with Click Maint. All right, and finally, let's get into the inventory and reports. So I'm going to touch on inventory real quick. We'll switch over to one of our plants for the demo. So here we have like all the parts in inventory that we're tracking. You can track non-stock parts that you just need to order and have the supplier information and associate it with assets, or parts that you stock. And ClickMate's going to keep track of all those. We track part types, numbers. We have an indicator of the stock level. Anything that's red, it highlights that. So you should probably reorder it. It means it's hit its minimum quantity. You've got your assets that they're associated with, and then you can see, how many you have on hand, available, minimum quantities, where they're located, lead time. So everything's right there. These are your parts in inventory. I'm just going to pop this one open here. This is a drive motor. You can see that I'm below the quantity that I want. So what I can do is go ahead and restock it and add a few. And I can put some notes and upload a receipt. But basically, we restocked it. It's at to a good level. And then all of the transactions for your parts are right here. So all the history, and then you get the records. So parts are here. They can be consumed off of work orders. And then if you wanted to look at like your cost to restock, that's basically all the parts that have hit the or what it would cost to get to your desired quantity. So it's not necessarily that they hit the minimum quantity, but to get back to that level that you set as your desired, that's what it's going to cost you. If you want to look at minimum quantity only, the ones that you need to order, these are the guys that you need to order. So these are your minimum quantity. They're below that, and you should be reordering them so you have enough on hand. But this is your inventory and parts. And then we also got reports and KPIs. Of course, ClickMate tracks all work order records, parts transactions, equipment work orders against the equipment, preventative maintenance. Everything's tracked here. The top portion here is basically your backlog. So it's active work orders. So it gives you a quick summary based on status and progress. Status and priority. And then you also see the backlog by assignee. On every one of these reports, you can click on this and drill down. So I'm just going to scroll down more to this historical data. This is where you'll see like all the work orders that were completed last year on time versus overdue. Maybe we'll look at this year. So if we want to change it to this year, we can do that. And this is everything that we've done this year. And then we might want to look over it like on a week over week basis. So you can change the time grouping here. Another report you might want to look at is work orders completed by assignees. So if you have a lot of, a larger team, 5 people or 10 people, this is everything that was completed this year broken down by the assignee. And then you can start seeing how well they're doing on completing on time. And then you also get labor hours. So that's completed work order records, but then you can look at labor hours. Okay, all this can be exported to Excel or a PDF. So if you want to get the graphs, you can change your time frame right here. Common request is like, what's the work orders completed by category, like HVAC, plumbing. That's all right here. Pick your time period, click on it. And then basically it's going to show you this year we're spending the most on HVAC, safety. So it breaks it down by the highest costing categories. You can go back in time as far as you want. Just change the time period. You can change, how you want to group the intervals as well. And then you can export this data. Got here assets. These are your top 10 costing assets. Okay. If you click on it, you're going to get your highest costing assets. We also have downtime tracking. It's not enabled here, but we also have that as well. Again, you change the period of time. You can filter by asset. You can filter by a number of different criteria. And then, we might have something with like parts usage right here. So this is the parts we've used this year, your highest costing parts. And then you can also filter it by part type. So that's really ClickMate in a nutshell. If you want a demo, I'd definitely be reaching out to us, but let's wrap this up and get into some of the pricing discussion. So ClickMate offers simple, transparent pricing with all features included. No tiers, no hidden fees. Our pricing is $35 a month US per user per month. And we also have Canadian billing as well, Canadian pricing for Canadian customers. So we're typically about 20 to 50% less costly than other leading CMS providers. This price includes unlimited sites, unlimited assets, unlimited requesters, and unlimited view-only users, along with lifetime customer support. So we also have unlimited view-only users for executives that maybe won't be logging into the system every day and using it, but they want some oversight. So what you see is what you get, no surprises, no hidden costs. As far as onboarding goes, onboarding with ClickMate is designed to be straightforward and flexible based on your organization's needs. So there's no one size fits all, but for smaller teams or organizations that want to move quickly, people who are tech savvy, don't have a lot of assets, we offer a quick start, a fast, low touch onboarding option, no cost, where you can import and populate your data independently with guidance from our team. For larger and more complex organizations and operations, we also offer a more hands-on onboarding program where we help you to migrate your data, help configure all the settings, import data from previous CMMS software. So we also offer options for that as well. But in all cases, you'll be assigned a dedicated customer success manager whose role is to ensure that you have the best possible experience, not just during the onboarding process, but throughout your whole entire journey as a ClickMate customer. So finally here, if you'd like to see ClickMate in more detail or start a free trial or have questions about whether our software is the right fit for your organization, we'd love to connect with you. The best way is send us an email if you have our email or contact information, or if you're working with an account executive, contact the person that you've been dealing with, or just go to our website. Through our website, you can schedule a live demo or speak directly with a ClickMate specialist who can walk you through our software and gear the demonstration and meeting specific to your case. Thank you again for watching, and we look forward to talking to you.